Welcome to the Dog Ate My Strategy Show. In the next 30 minutes, we will help you switch off, bring you entertainment and chat to some specifically chosen guests who will help you realise that you are more capable than you will ever know. In each episode, we offer practical ideas for reshaping your career, enhancing your skills and building higher self-belief. Whether you're stuck, coasting or craving a new direction, this show helps you silence negativity and challenge your current mindset with a blend of inspiration, positivity and fun moments. So get ready for real stories, real mindset shifts and real change. Welcome to a special episode of the Dog Ate My Strategy Show, and thank you very much for listening in. I wanted to dedicate the whole of the show to Kateryna, and we shall meet Kateryna in a minute. I had my first conversation with Kateryna a few months ago. We're just going to have a chat about career options. But within minutes of talking to her, I listened to this incredibly positive person, and she explained what had happened to her and her family during the last 12 years. And it reminded me that behind every headline that we see on TV, individual people are making difficult choices and facing challenges that none of us should go through. All I ask of you is that you help me share Kateryna's story, so we never forget about people like Kateryna and give them hope in any way that we can. Welcome to the special guest spot on the Dog Ate My Strategy Show. So sometimes we have bad days, sometimes we even have bad weeks. This is because of changes around us that we cannot control. It could be a new boss, the company's taken over and you start thinking about what is my future going to be. Or it could be the one where the office relocates and you've got that 10-mile drive at 8 o'clock on a morning, which can be very frustrating. At the time, we think these are insurmountable issues. But they're only temporary challenges. And what happens is they disappear in the past and we move on with our life. Our guest today, though, has been in a challenging situation since 2014. I can't imagine how many real bad days she's had. Displaced twice, having to leave her family behind in Ukraine, in the country she loves, and not only move to another country, but also try to relaunch her career. And do you know what? She's one of the most positive people I've spoken to in the last few years. So it's a real privilege to welcome Kateryna to the Dog Ate My Strategy Show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Gary. Hi, David. And thank you for having me.
It's good to see you, Kateryna.
And we also have David Johnson joining us for this conversation as well.
Hi. And as I say, very good to see you, Kateryna.
Thank you.
So, Kateryna, we're going to go back a little bit in time because when I first spoke to Kateryna a few weeks ago, I actually forgot this and I was really embarrassed because we started off going back to February 2022, but Kateryna's story goes back further than that to 2014. So, Kateryna, can you just tell me a little bit about what was happening in your life in 2014 and the day that your life started to change?
Yeah, really, it's really hard sometimes to remind this, to think about this, because up to now it's 12 years and it's really hard. But when you're thinking that you went through all these things, you're just thinking how really strong you are, maybe. I don't know if you can even imagine when one day you wake up and understand that in your town you can see armed people, but the army is not Ukrainian. It's another country's people and they're armed. And I remember my way to work was through the block post with the armed people. So it was everyday challenge to go through this block post. And it was absolutely terrible. And it was hard to understand that this situation, you can't solve it. You can help to solve these circumstances as something that absolutely changed your life. And it was really hard. Yeah.
And just to remind the listeners, so where were you living in 2014, Kateryna?
In 2014, I lived in Donetsk, and I moved from Donetsk in 2014 in that year, and I moved to Kyiv. So now Donetsk is occupied by Russian from 2014.
Okay. And so when you moved to Kyiv then, how big a change was that? Did you have to change your job? Did you have to move your family? Just so the listeners understand about the big change, because that's moving right across Ukraine to a big capital city. So that must have been a big challenge and a big change as well.
Yes, it's true. Donetsk is in top 5 biggest cities in Ukraine before the war. So I'm city girl. So I just left one big city and moved to another big city. Of course, it's capital. And when I left Donetsk, the population was about 1 million people. So in Kyiv, it's 3.5 million people. So it's 2 big cities. But it was really hard because it's anyway the same country. It's the same people, but the country is really big, and we are different from town to town, and it's lot of different things that you need to get used to. And you need to think about accommodation. You need to think about your new job. So it's a lot of things that you need to cope with. It was difficult, but I've done it.
So what did you do? Did you move into temporary accommodation? Did you have to change job? I'm just wondering about those real practical changes that you had to make.
The owner of the company that I was working in Donetsk, he was really kind, because he offered some people from Donetsk to move to Kyiv. So he helped just a little bit with accommodation, and it was just bless him, because it was so helpful for us. Then we moved, for people from Donetsk, we moved to Kyiv. Yeah, so it was helpful because the owner of the company, he tried to help. He tried to help, still offered the job, and some of other employees offered to live in their houses and flats for some months. And, nobody expected that it would be for 12 years. So in that period of time, everybody just thought maybe it's for a couple of months. Because I remember that I grabbed some things, some like clothes, just for summer, because it was summer, and for autumn, even not for winter. So it was just, we believed that it will be just for some months and it will be okay and I will go home. I remember that I was speaking with my mom and we discussed the situation, and she totally understood that I need to move because I couldn't stay, and it was a little bit dangerous for me because when I was in Donetsk, I was in a group of people who were like pro-Ukrainian, and we were defense, like opposite people who came. And I was working with paints. So in the night, we tried to go after work. We tried to go and make flags of Ukraine with the, so it was dangerous. Now it's fun, but it was really dangerous. The Donetsk is full of armed people, and we are going and make flags of Ukraine everywhere. And they were really angry with it. And I remember that when they have opportunity to find out our VPNs or something like that, and it was really dangerous. And even after that, we tried to do something that was not really good for them. So it was dangerous to stay after that. We realized in some months that we need to leave Donetsk.
When did you start to realize, when you were in Kyiv, that this temporary situation was going to become more permanent, and obviously trying to get back to Donetsk and get the Ukrainian army to push the Russians back was probably not going to happen? When did that start to occur to you that might be something that might be a long way off?
You mean when I realized that it could be longer than couple of months?
Yeah. Longer than the summer close and the autumn close.
Yes. I think maybe it was just closer to winter. I realized that, something is not really right, and it will be longer. It's really strange because I just want to point out it was the similar feeling that I got in 2022. So when you, in one period of time, you realize that it's not for some months, some weeks, it will be longer. So from the beginning, I tried to be useful for our company. Where can I be useful? In sales, okay. In finance, okay. So I was really grateful for everything that the owner of the company made for us. So I was just all in the work.
But it's not great. It's like to gain real experience, you need an invasion of your hometown and to go to another city, and then you sort of become really useful to the company and you learn all these skills. I mean, I just wish it could have been done under completely different circumstances.
Yeah, of course. You're right. Yeah.
So you've gone to Kyiv. So where's your family, Kateryna, at this moment in time?
My husband now in Kyiv. His decision was to stay in Kyiv. Unfortunately, my mom passed away in 2020, so it was hard, and because she was still in Donetsk, and it was really hard to go back to Donetsk because we had the border between Ukraine and Donetsk. So it's you need to go through the border to go to Donetsk, and it was really difficult to find a bus to go and see the funeral of my mom, and I can't really explain how hard it was.
That must have been heartbreaking. Anyway, I'm really sorry to hear about that, Kateryna. And any given time, if you just want to stop, just let us know.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
So this is a real tough time. I mean, you've changed cities. You've had obviously the tragedy of your mum dying as well. And then did you start to get that feeling in 2022 in January that something was going to happen in Kyiv as well, or across Ukraine, with some of the photos that were appearing on TV where there were some operations just on the border?
In 2022, it was in air. You can feel it, that something going to be wrong. It's really strange, but I found my old diary, and I found my note. It was 22nd of February, 2022, and I found maybe the note. Maybe I need to go and buy some food. It was 2 days before. So it was like everybody was thinking about this, but we still had the hope that it can't be true because we are in the middle of Europe, and it's strange when you are in this world and it's suddenly war. I can't even explain this because it's like a parallel reality. It can't be true.
So what happened on the day when the invasions started then? I mean, did you start to think that you're going to have to move again? How were your feelings on that day when it started to happen again?
Yeah, it's a really good question because I remember this day and woke up at 5 o'clock with my husband, and I remember that I was sitting in the bed, really calm, without any emotion. And my husband decided to find out what happened, and he was next to the window. And I said, it's a bombing. And he told me, maybe you are wrong. Maybe it's another sound. I said, no, I know this sound. I know because I know it's from 2014. I know this. I can't forget this sound. I was really calm, and I said, okay, please go to the petrol station and I will go and buy some food. We were so calm. I remember this day without any panic. And I just want to share that in that day, it's really strange feeling, but I was so proud of people, because when I was in shop, everybody was so kind to each other. They were so calm, and it was unbelievable. And I don't know if I can say in these circumstances that it was amazing to see how people behave in this situation. And it was interesting feeling that from the first day, people tried to support and help each other. It's really interesting.
Well, from what you've just said, Kateryna, and what we've seen on the news, you and the Ukrainian people, you just seem to have created a spirit of resilience that sweeps across the whole country. And as you've just said, every single person is playing a critical part in keeping hopes alive.
Thank you.
So just moving on, the invasion happened. It didn't go as planned. So at what point then did you decide to leave Ukraine and come to the UK?
Yeah, I really didn't want to go, because from the first day I decided to be a volunteer. And it was a lot of chats in social media, and my friend organized chats from his friends. We were so different. It was photographer, designer, me from finance and management, and we tried to organize help, like support for all the people that vulnerable and with diseases and with that can't help, that they don't have anybody to help. So we would try to find treatment, tablets, everything. Sometimes we paid our own money, and I was so busy with it, and it was like a work. I was working with it from early in the morning till evening, late evening, because in the first days we understand that we need to support each other, because it was suddenly. So we need to cooperate, to be together, and we will be stronger. And unfortunately, it was March, and I believe that it was 18th of March. Bomb just dropped next to our home. Our building is 26 floors, and all windows and all glasses, all frames was broken. So the blast wave was so strong. We found ourselves on the floor because of blast wave. I was scared, of course. And I remember after that, we went out from our building and we found a lot of people in blood. And they were hurt by glass. And it was terrible picture that you will never want to remember. After that, my husband he was begging me. He asked me to go and live in safe place. So yeah, it's my story.
Wow, I mean that sounds so dangerous. Fortunately, we haven't had to experience that in our lifetime. But I can't imagine, having bombs going off near you and going down and seeing the casualties. Where did you decide to go then? Because you decided to leave. So what did you do next? Was it easy to find another country to go to, or were the information from the Ukraine government about certain countries offering certain schemes?
No, it was not from Ukrainian government. It was just in social media and in news. So I found a lot of news about that European countries and the United States and Great Britain just open some schemes for Ukraine. It was hard to make this decision because I didn't want to flee again and to run from my own country. The second time, it's not right at all. And because of that, I was trying to discuss this with my husband. And I was asking him, maybe I can still live in Ukraine. Unfortunately, he said no. So I found schemes in Europe, in Germany and Switzerland, and also I had some friends in that countries. But suddenly I found the UK, and it was interesting because I have never thought to visit England and Great Britain. I don't know why. Yes, and
I can think of some good reasons why, but I can think of some good reasons why not as well.
Yes, and it was like, okay, maybe Great Britain, it's maybe far, but it's interesting because it's for me it was like a little bit different world with the traditions, with even with the buildings and architectures and everything. It was so different. So I decided maybe it will be Great Britain. But I think it was like I was sneaky because I thought it was new scheme, and I thought, okay, I will apply, and maybe they will reject or something like that, and I will stay in Ukraine.
I love that because it's like they're terrible at letting people in the UK. It's like they're so bureaucratic, they'll reject me, and then I'll say to my husband, I tried so hard, but now I'm staying. I'm not going.
Yes, because I was waiting for the confirmation. I think it was 35 days, and it was really long. I knew that in European country it was like days or maybe a week, but in Great Britain it was really long. The problem was my husband decided that we need to moved from Kyiv to another town that is not far from Poland border, and he will wait me to go out from Ukraine, and he will go back.
So is that just to make sure? Sorry, yeah. Kateryna, is that just to make sure that you actually got on the train?
Yes, it's
you have to
true.
Wave because I need to make sure you get on the train.
I wanted to stay, and but I was in a city that it was safe, just kind of safe, because it was just in the west of Ukraine. But people who were in a more dangerous area from Ukraine, they were waiting for more than 30, some of them 40 days. So it was really hard for them. So I was really lucky because I was in the safe place.
What were your next steps then? So, Tex, as usual, the British like to put more process and admin behind things. So after 45 days, what happened next? Did somebody reach out to you through social media, or was it something else that got you to the UK and got you to some accommodation?
Yeah, before applying, you should find the hostess. The program is just, you need to find the hostess, and if hostess just accept you and will be happy to give accommodation for you, after that you can apply. So without hostess, you can't apply for Ukrainian scheme. So I found it was like first in Instagram, I found a Ukrainian lady who was working for company in London, and I just asked if they have maybe people who want to see Ukrainian in their house, some stranger Ukrainian in house. I found a lady, and she's my hostess. She's just amazing. I'm really lucky. And she sent me an email that, I'm ready, so you can apply. After that, I applied for Home for Ukraine scheme.
Brilliant.
Is it okay if we mention the lady, because I think she deserves some recognition?
Yeah, of course. Yes, she's a bookkeeper, and it was really helpful for me because she helped me a lot with a job and with registration and with everything. And her name is Jane. She's really nice person, and she's really kind. And it's interesting because she used to live alone, just with the 3 cats. And I think she was really brave enough to decide to take some stranger from another country to her house to invite. And I think it's a person with a really big heart.
An accountant to the rescue. An accountant going beyond spreadsheets and doing something. It's just, I mean, it's just brilliant to hear. So what would it like coming to the UK for you personally? You know, this new country, you haven't been there before, you haven't experienced the 4 seasons, which are a bit weird. And then there's all these people with all these strange accents. It must have been quite a shock.
Challengeable.
Challengeable.
Yes.
That's a really nice phrase. Challengeable.
Yes, it's challengeable. Yeah, I don't know if is it correct? Yeah.
We'll put it in I tell you what, we will put it in the English dictionary if it's not in there for you.
Okay, thank you very much. You're so kind. I think I got I will start from maybe funny challenge that I got when I just came to the UK. And it was weather. 4 seasons in one day. It's too much, really, because it's really 2 seasons in one day. How you work with this? I don't know. It's really strange for Ukrainian. And another, I think it's really funny. Because I think it was more than some months I was waiting for the bus on the wrong side of the road because different traffic, left-hand side and right. and it was so funny. And it was I don't know what happened with my brain because it was for some months before I get used to that. No.
David spent 60 years doing that, so.
So, yeah, another challenge.
Yet another reason why we're challengeable.
I think after my first job, or just during my first job that I got in the UK, I realized that English is not the same as with the financial English. It's a 2 different English. Because for me, it was a big challenge. It's like when you feel like a dog, you understand everything, but you can talk, you can explain, you can express yourself because you can see the document and you understand it. But you don't have enough vocabulary to explain or to ask something. So it was really big challenge, even if I got here exams and my English level was upper intermediate when I just came to the UK. So it was challenge, yes.
Well, thank goodness you didn't come up north because you'd have learned a different type of English then. You'd been talking like me, Kateryna, which is a Northern English. There's a Southern English and Northern English.
Yeah.
And then there's proper English.
Yeah, it's proper.
So in my best Northern English, let's move on from the difficult practical issues you had to face. And let's talk about the emotional challenges, if you don't mind, Kateryna. So how did you cope being separated from your husband, who was still back in Kyiv?
I really can't explain because it's just difficult. It's really difficult. And I have 2 things that's really difficult for me. One is just the thing that I can't be next to my husband and sometimes to see him or just to hold his hand, and it's really difficult for me. And another that I can't go to Donetsk and to go to visit my mom's grave, and it's too hard, really, and it's really deep inside me, and I'm living with this every day.
Well, I hope that changes very quickly for you, Kateryna. I really do.
Yeah.
When I started the introduction about bad days, when, we have what we think's a bad day, these are nothing compared to what you've had to go through. So, you're in this country, you've got the distance with you and your husband and this haunting fact that you can't go see your mother's grave. What did you do from a job point of view? Did you think of just getting a job, or did you want to sort of relaunch your career in the UK?
In the UK, it was it was nice that I don't know, it under this scheme the government just was prepared maybe for this, and everybody from Ukraine when you arrived to the UK, you should go to job center and introduce yourself to job center, and job center helped to find some jobs. And I remember that when I was in a job center, I asked, please go through my CV or my list of my jobs, previous jobs, and just tell me what should I do, because I was ready for any job. And I don't know if it's correct, but I hate to be a burden. I didn't want to be in benefits. So I really appreciate that 2 months I got the first 2 months I got the benefits, and after that I found my job. And I really appreciate ICB company because they gave me opportunity to work as a maternity cover. So I was a finance assistant, and it was my first job. So I really appreciate this company. They supported and they gave me this opportunity and my first experience. And the main thing that I realized, I don't know, maybe because I came to a really small town, or maybe it's a wrong place to find a job that aligned to my experience. But here I realized that my experience is just like nothing, and I need to start from the ground. And for me, it was okay because it was before. So I thought, okay, yeah, I will do it. I will go and I will find some job. I will do it as well as I can. I will try to learn English, to maybe build my vocabulary. Yeah, to become stronger and maybe more useful for my future employer.
So what happened then? So you did the part-time cover, the maternity leave. So what happened after that? Did you get a permanent job, or are you still looking for work, or are you going into education?
Yes, again, I was sneaky because I came back to job center after I finished my work in ICB, and I was really honest. I told them that I don't really need benefits. I need your advice about maybe some courses, maybe something that I can learn, and after that could be useful for UK job market. And I was really lucky because they found AAT course, and it was paid by Job Center, and I think it was funded from European Fund. So I was lucky with that. And after that, I came to Job Center and said, okay, I want to decline the benefits because I got that I wanted, because I don't want fish. I want to learn how to fish. I don't really like fish for one day. I want to got more knowledge, and I understand that my knowledge, maybe from Ukraine, is not enough for UK job market. So I was happy with that, and I achieved my certificate from AAT, and I applied for CIMA. And when I explained my situation, I mean, not that I'm from Ukraine, but about my experience, that I have 9+ management experience, and I was working with all aspects of business, and I really have knowledge. So they sent me an email that with congratulations, and that was like a gift for me, that I can be in exemption and I can start from management level. So I was really happy with that. So now I'm just need to be ready to start. So I don't know when I can do it, but I was really happy. It was big gift.
Good. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. But it's just typical of our country, that is, we've got these processes, whether they're HR or AI, intervene now, where they look for certain things from your CV. Here's a young girl who's gone to work under fire, literally under fire, bombs, bullets, and she's gone to it. She's taken most of the company to another part of the country in a city where she's had to learn all kinds of the jobs because they didn't have the people in the city. She's come to the UK, had to learn English by herself. She doesn't want benefits. It says so much about you, Kateryna. And then our system and processes rule you out for whatever reason at the first hurdle, when they miss the wealth of skills that you bring, but also not just the work ethic, the drive, the determination. And it just feels, David, as though there's something wrong.
Well, exactly in so many ways. But the other aspect is the delight. You felt that you were very, very welcomed once you were here. I get that impression. And because you were so positive in saying, look, I want to be able to earn my way through here, then it was straight away, right, fine, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get some funding so you can get some of the academic boxes ticked that enable you to, in effect, fast track through AAT and come into SEMA and at the management level, because you were able to demonstrate you'd achieved the all that was required for the operational level, and so that's terrific.
Thank you.
Kateryna, so just a couple of more questions. How's your husband? Is he okay? I know there's been lots of drone strikes. I just want to check to see whether he's okay.
Yeah, thank you for this question. Yeah. He's okay. And if I can say like this, because he's trying to survive, he's trying to be busy. He's working a lot. And I know that he's with the work, he's trying to not to go crazy. And that's really, it's really hard to understand that you can just go to bed and will never wake up, because a lot of people, we discussed with him situation that was a couple of weeks ago. And I think it was 30 people who died after the Russian strike. And it's a disaster. And these people, just ordinary people, they were working. Some children was from after school. They had their dinner, and after that, they just said, okay, good night, and tomorrow will be a nice day to go somewhere. But tomorrow never come. And it's really hard to live with this every day. It's really hard. For him, he's strong. I'm really proud of him because he's strong. But I understand that he's living with it. Anyway, he's thinking about, of course, because he's just a man.
I mean, that just sounds so sad, the whole situation. But we tell him that we are thinking about him, and we hope that it does come to an end for everybody in Ukraine. So, Kateryna, what are your hopes then for this year? This year, maybe into next year. Be interesting to hear what those would be.
I'll be honest with this. Yeah. When I just came to the UK, I think it was the feeling that most of Ukraine had. We can't plan. We can't have plan for a future. We don't understand the future. It's impossible to maybe to understand this. But when you don't know what happened next day, you can't plan. So. And the first, I remember in the beginning when I just came to the UK, my plan was just for one day. And it was like a mentality. It was like my prison for one day. And I didn't move from this prison. And then it was for a couple of weeks. Even now, it's just for a couple of weeks, maybe for a couple of months. But I will be honest, I can't think about 6 months or 1 year. I really can't imagine what my plan will be. Sorry, I can't really share.
Yeah, honesty is brilliant. And thank you just for being honest and for being so brave as well.
Yeah, thank you.
But Gary and Kateryna, the positivity, and you say you're fearful of almost hoping for 2 days or 5 days or 6 days. But it's great that you're now beginning to feel 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months. Just that ability, that freedom of being able to do that must be terrific. Listening to you and knowing you from the short time that I have got to know you, how positive you are about today and how today is going to be better tomorrow and further on, despite the fact that you're reluctant to think too positive. You're fearful of thinking too far ahead, but you're so positive in the present, which is so great. And it's such a lesson for us all. Terrific.
Yeah. Kateryna, can I just ask you another question? We have a lot of listeners now. Is there any message to them, or is there any support that we can give you in, it could be the smallest bit of support. As you said, the UK is not a bad place. We have got some really great people in here. So is there any message you want to send, or is there any support that we can give you through this podcast.
I really appreciate that, everything that I have. And I don't think that you can give me more, because the government of UK and the people that I met, they were so supportive and so kind. And I am really grateful for these all things. I really don't think that I need anything more. Sometimes maybe all Ukrainian as well as me, we need just from people to understand us, why sometimes we can be sad, maybe, because I'm trying to be positive, really. It's all my life. I was really positive with all my moving and all my difficulties, because it's always helpful. But sometimes I can be really sad because I can hear something from Ukraine, or I can be in my thoughts. But I really appreciate everything that I have, and I don't think that you can give me more, really.
All I'd say, Kateryna, is you've been so brave. I'm glad you've got your story out there. As David says, you are incredibly positive for what you've been through. I do hope that if somebody's listening out there who can help you in employment, if you're listening and you know somebody else who wants to hear this story, please forward the links that I put into LinkedIn and Spotify and Apple. All I'd like to say is I wish you the best of luck. I hope the war comes to an end, and I hope that you get to see your husband and go to see your mother's grave as soon as you can, Kateryna. I'd just like to thank you for coming along and sharing your story.
Oh, thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. Thank you, David. Yeah, thank you for having me.
And if you want to never miss an episode of the Dog Ate My Strategy Show, then all you've got to do is subscribe or follow us on Apple, on Spotify, on Amazon Music, or even now on YouTube. Massive thank you to Kateryna, and massive thank you to David Johnson as well.
Thank you, Gary.